Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has given a strident defence of his country's military invasion of Ukraine, saying the campaign was going to plan. Mr. Putin said he would never give up on his convictions that Russians and Ukrainians were one people, but accused the West of trying to make Ukraine into an anti-Russia. Earlier in Kiev, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky reiterated a call for Mr. Putin to hold face-to-face talks with him. As heavy fighting continued in many parts of Ukraine, the country's former president, Petro Poroshenko, said Ukrainians would remain defiant.
Please believe, we don't lose Mariupol. We don't lose Kharkiv. We don't lose Kiev. Putin, forget about that. The whole nation is beating Putin. He cannot kill Ukrainian soul. I have my weapons with me. I have also the automatic rifle.
The mayor of Enerhodar in southern Ukraine says that the nearby Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is on fire after being shelled by the Russians during their offensive. It is the largest facility of its kind in Europe. The mayor, Dmitry Orlov, has pleaded with the Russians to stop firing, as video posted online appears to show flames and smoke there. European Union interior ministers have agreed that Ukrainian refugees who have fled into the bloc should be given special temporary protection for up to 3 years, including residence permits with rights to access the labour market, healthcare and education. The UN says that 1 million people have left the country in the first week of Russia's invasion. Lucy Williamson sent this report from Ukraine's border with Moldova.
The scene at the Palanka crossing point here has completely changed within the last couple of days. Now the entire crossing point is flooded with people waiting to get on the buses to take them into town. There seem to be lots of mothers and children, lots of women travelling alone, and most of them are from Odessa, the Ukrainian city that's just 30 miles across the border.
Earlier reports from Hungary suggested the government there did not support the plans, but the Commission described the decision as unanimous after some modifications. The president of the World Bank has told the BBC that the war in Ukraine is a catastrophe for the world that will cut economic growth and drive up inflation. David Malpass said that global food prices are likely to increase as Ukraine's vast exports of sunflower oil, maize and wheat have come to a grinding halt. Jonathan Josephs reports.
The World Bank's president is warning that removing these supplies and cutting off Russian oil and gas will cut global economic growth. Before Russia's invasion, Ukraine's economy was set for respectable growth of 3.4% this year. To keep Ukraine going, the organisation is working on a $350 million aid package that is expected to be approved in the coming days.
Jonathan Josephs. World News from the BBC. The United States has announced it is granting temporary protected status to Ukrainians already in the country. The protection is for a period of 18 months and covers students, tourists and people on expiring work visas. It will be given to Ukrainians who were in the country on the 1st of March. The Metropolitan Opera in New York has announced that its superstar Russian soprano, Anna Netrebko, will no longer perform this season or next after she failed to comply with their demand that she renounce her support for Vladimir Putin. It comes as the Opera House has taken a stand on the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In other news, the French President Emmanuel Macron has confirmed that he's standing for a second term in next month's elections. He made the widely expected announcement in a letter to regional newspapers. Mr. Macron's promised to formulate a uniquely French and European response to the challenges of the century and to defend French values, which he said were threatened by disruptions in the world. Hugh Schofield reports.
President Macron left it until the last possible moment under the law to make his declaration. It's no surprise that he's standing, but it does mean that over the next 5 weeks he'll have to divide his attention between the campaign on one side and leading the French response to the Ukrainian war on the other. Not only does an international crisis like this tend to favour the incumbent, but two of his main contenders, the far-right candidates Marine Le Pen and Eric Zemmour, are also compromised by their support in the past for Vladimir Putin.
Scientists say an abandoned rocket part that has been hurtling through space for years is predicted to crash into the moon at high speed on Friday. Researchers say the impact will leave a large crater, throwing up moon dust, which they then hope to study. It's not clear where the space junk is from, with speculation pointing to a SpaceX project or China's 2014 lunar mission. Beijing denies responsibility. Astronomers say it's important that waste from space missions is tracked, as debris could crash into the Earth unexpectedly. BBC News.